Russia's not the first country to destroy perfectly good food. Here to talk about that and food import bans in general is Damian Mason. He grew up on a farm, owns a farm, and has a degree in agricultural economics. And Damian joins us from the U.S. state of Indiana. Thanks so much for joining us. I mentioned Russia is not the first country to destroy food that's good enough to eat. Take us back to World War II. What happened in the United States?
Right. Hey, thanks for having me on here, Mike. And actually, it was pre-World War II, 1903, the Agricultural Administrative or Adjustment Act, I guess it was, Agricultural Adjustment Act, instituted by Franklin Delano Roosevelt, U.S. president during the Great Depression. He actually called for this. His advisor, the Secretary of Agriculture, oversaw it. And we went out in a country, like they just talked about Russia, where 1 in 7 people are hungry and people are advocating for doing something about this. We were way worse off during the Great Depression. A global depression was going on, and the United States government paid farmers for hogs, beef animals, and perfectly good crops, plowed the crops under, took the animals out, shot them, and buried them. So this is actually something that's been done before. It leads to tremendous emotional outcry, as you're seeing right there in Russia.
Okay, well, let's talk about Russia. A lot of debate about whether Russia should be going ahead, Moscow should be destroying this food. What's your take on this?
Well, of course, Mike, the reason it was done in the United States in 1933 was to offset supply, because they decided that there was so much of a glut of product that it was going to correct the supply, therefore increase the demand and the prices. It worked marginally, briefly. The situation in Russia is they are doing that solely out of political motivation. They know it makes great spectacle. Clearly, the cameras are there. Multiple media outlets saw this. In reality, the amount of product that's being destroyed in the scope of things, you know, Russia is a 200 million person country. Is it really that significant? Probably not. It's more saber rattling, because they want to try and push Ukraine into submission. They need Ukraine. They can get bowled all they want bulldozed over some Parmesan cheese, but they want Ukraine to be submissive to them before 2016.
Let me ask you about Julia's report, talking about domestic food producers and the impact that they're seeing a boost in revenues. What impact does a food import ban have on food sales profits?
Probably very little, Mike, because first off, they just talked about products like Italian Parmesan cheese or fine wines, or maybe some products from, did you see the list? They are now banning products from Albania, Montenegro, Iceland, and Liechtenstein. I mean, that's like banning food products from your refrigerator. You probably have more food calories in your deep freeze than those 4 countries put out. So is it really going to matter that much? Probably not. Will Russia pick up the slack and make much more food because of this? Well, you know, they just used milk as an example. The Eastern Bloc, former Russian satellite countries, and Russia, milk output there is about where the United States and the European Union were in the 1960s. So if it's going to happen, it better happen fast, because they have 50 years of makeup to do just on milk production comparative to the more modern capitalistic countries that have been at the more forefront of production.
Now, Damian, Russia's not the only country implementing a food ban. Other countries do it as well, but you say they tend to do it for safety reasons. Can you explain why?
They cite safety reasons, but it's usually more political reasons. Just like Putin and the Russian government are making a grand optical sensationalized situation out of bulldozing over some food from Italy, the usual reason is they're going to cite safety, and they're going to say protecting their people. But that usually gets them the vote. If you were going to run for office and you wanted the agriculture and you wanted to get the whole jingoistic nature of your country going, you'd say, I protected you. I protected you by banning food from whoever the common enemy is. Usually, safety's been cited for things, Mike, like mad cow disease, which is legitimate, or hoof and mouth disease. But let's face it, usually it has a lot more to do with politics, just like the situation in Russia.
All right, Damian Mason joining us from Indiana. Thanks so much.
Thank you.